Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing something a little different. Today we're doing the BookTube Newbie Tag, but 2.0. I thought this would be the perfect way to pause and reflect and share a little bit more about where I'm at, what I love about books, and what I hope to create with this channel in 2025. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liz. I read a little bit about everything, but I read mostly fantasy. I've got a thing with contemporary romance at the moment, and I blame the weather for that 100%. I love books that last long after the last page. Make sure to subscribe if that sounds just like your vibe, and let's dive in. Let's start with the obvious. Why am I back? I originally started this channel because I love books, but more than that, I love connecting with people who also has the same passion for books as I do. I love my partner, but he can only take that much book talk from me. I had a solid run in 2023 to early 2024, but then life happened. But now that I'm back, I feel a lot more grounded, and I've got this clear vision as to what I want this channel to be and what kind of space I want to create with you guys. Because for me, BookTube is all about joy. It's all about sharing what I love without pressure, and building a community, a meaningful community around the stories that really matter. And while I was gone, I really missed not only reading a lot more books, but also sharing the books that I read. And most importantly, I missed connecting you guys, and I missed the creative flow of making videos and sharing them with all of you. And I hope you are just as excited that I'm back as I am. What are my BookTube goals for 2025? So I already touched upon that in my latest video, my mid-year reset vlog. So go check that one out. Overall, I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Not just for the number, but that is a huge milestone to reach on YouTube, but also because it means that this space is working, that we are growing, and this space is meaningful to all of us. I also want to post consistently, making videos for you guys every week. I just want to experiment with more formats like reset vlogs that I introduced in my last video, themed reading challenges. I would love to try and do one of those 24 hours readathons or something like that. And I haven't decided yet if I want to do, I read for 24 hours, but then I time it and pause it so I can actually sleep. Or if I want to do which I think is the original one, like 24 hours straight, do an all-nighter, just as in college, but just for reading fun books, and then vlog that experience with you guys. I think that would be so much fun. And then maybe even experiment with doing live streams with reading sprints or something like that. I think we need to grow a bit bigger before that would be feasible, but that could be so much fun, What genres do you wish were talked about more on BookTube? And that's such a good question, and I feel like I'm going to give the generic answer that is also difficult to live up to, at least if you want your channel to grow, because I feel like a lot of the booktok books is everywhere on BookTube, and for good reason. Like, there is a hype about it, it's fun to share, it's fun to be part of what everyone else is reading as well, and be able to join in on the conversation. And you can stumble across some controversial opinions on these booktok books. I'm not on TikTok, but it's impossible to not stumble across these. So I feel like that it could be fun to not see the same books from every single booktuber, but I feel like that's part of the game as well. I can't really answer the rest of the question because we all have different interests. We are all pulled toward different genres. I love fantasy and contemporary romance at the moment. So I feel like you do you, and I'm sure that there are genres for everyone out there that their favorite booktubers are covering as well. What trope or genre will you never grow tired of? One trope that I will never get tired of, and I won't go into depth with this because I am working on a different video where I have a deep dive into the tropes, but a true enemies to lovers, oh my gosh, as well as academic rivals to lovers. That is perfect. If it takes place in a magical school, it has got nerdy characters with great banter in it, I'm in. Genre-wise, I have a thing with romantasy at the moment. I absolutely love anything romantasy related at the moment because it just fills up on so many good areas that makes my heart burst while I read it. And if it's got spice in it as well, I'm not complaining. But I do have a soft spot for what I would say the quiet books. They are mostly fiction and not many people know these books. That's a wrong thing to say because a lot of people do know them, but they're not hyped up as BookTok books are. I will give an example later in one of the other questions because I know I will touch upon especially one book. What's a book that you would absolutely recommend to everyone? And here, the question is already here. One book that I absolutely recommend to every single person is Stoner by John Williams, and it's such a beautiful book. It's quite an introverted book. I mean, that sounds so strange, but it hasn't got this epic plot by any means. There isn't a lot of drama in it. It's just a beautiful story about life, and we're following Stoner from almost birth in the late 1800s or something. We've just followed him throughout life, from him being born into a farmer's family and supposed to take over the farm from his father, but doesn't really thrive in that. And he is so fortunate to follow his passion with literature and go to college and become a professor. And we just follow him throughout his life, throughout his struggles. And it's one of the most beautiful books that I have ever read. Someday I need to do a deep dive of this book because I don't really know why. The books that I find amazing usually are fantasy. They've got this epic plot and 7 books in the series and stuff like that because I'm so invested in it. And this is a standalone book which just follows this quiet man. And I'm so drawn to it. It's gorgeous. So that is like the book that I would recommend to absolutely everyone. There is a Danish book as well that I do not know if it is translated, and I've spoken about it before. I'll pop it up here. It is basically translated to The One Who Weeps Quietly, which is about a woman who grows up and figures out that she is gay. She just has such a difficult time with her family, especially her mother. We just can't really fathom it, and it's horrible, all of the things that she goes through, but family issues and how that can be difficult. It's, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful book as well. It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. It just really depicts how difficult, especially the mother-daughter relationship can be, and it just depicts that in the most beautifully, achingly way possible. I don't think it is translated. Unfortunately, it absolutely should be. I think it would take the world with everything that it's got. So if there are any Danish viewers out there, comment below, let me know if you've read it and if you enjoyed it. Enjoyed it is a difficult, that's not really the right word because it's such a tough book, but it is a beautiful book. Let me know if you think that as well. What do you enjoy most about making BookTube videos? I feel like I love just the entire process of it. I love starting on a new book because I know now that I think about the books differently than I used to. Before, I just sort of consumed them, and that's absolutely fine. But now I have this sort of meta conversation with myself whenever there's something that intrigues me or moves me, that makes me think, how can I talk about this and why do I feel about this? It's not just me feeling everything. I'm sort of like conceptualizing all of my thoughts and feelings when I read a book, and I absolutely love that aspect that has come into my reading experience after making BookTube videos. I do love the creative process as well as thinking about videos that I can make and what would be fun for me to make as well for you guys to watch. And I love sitting down and filming them and thinking about, is this a good angle? Have I been sitting in this spot for too long? What would be interesting B-roll and stuff like that? Am I good at it yet? No, absolutely not. I've had so much to learn, but I am so enjoying the process. Editing is fun as well, but it is a bit tedious for me as well sometimes, especially just a rough cut, just getting rid of all of the ums and silences and me repeating myself over and over and over again. But whenever we reach that point where I can become a bit more creative and try and show my personality, which is rather goofy and nerdy and intense as well, I've heard. That is fun for me to edit. So I do love all of the aspects of it. If it could be less time consuming, that would be amazing, because it does take up a lot of time to just make one video. Even just sitting down to film, there's so much. You don't just sit down and film. Sort of the setup, there's scripting, there is thinking about the titles and try and be articulate and, you know, have an outline for where you want the conversation to go or the monologue to go. You know, it's just so much about just sitting down to film. So that's just one aspect that I would love to be less time consuming, but I guess with time as well, it will when I'm bossing up with all of this. But there's just something so fulfilling to see your idea go from notes and absolutely chaotic and scattered ideas to actually a video, a cohesive videos, sometimes more than less, but I love that. It's so fulfilling. Oh, I kind of half answered that in this question. So this question is, what do you least like about making BookTube videos? And as I mentioned before, all of the time that it takes is a bit tedious. And then also the aspect of I'm still learning what I like to do, because there's like the recipe for growing on YouTube, which can to me seem a bit clickbaity. Like my previous video is named
I want to become a full-time YouTuber.
And that is difficult for me to both come up with and actually put out there, as well as the thumbnails being all, you know, sometimes I feel like it's too extreme emotions and it's a bit silly and clickbaity and stuff like that, but it does work and I do want this channel to grow quite a lot actually. So it's all about finding the balance of being authentic to myself as well as making content that you guys like, which also works with the algorithm and stuff like that. So, you know, that symbiosis of all three parts, that can be quite difficult, but mostly I just love so freaking much of every part of the process. I just love it. What videos would you like to see more of on BookTube? I feel like a lot of booktubers out there now, that there is sort of this trend, or maybe just because it's working, I'm starting to make them as well, these vlog styled videos, reading vlogs, reset vlogs, you know, absolutely everything related to vlogs. Even the 24-hour reading challenge tag has sort of become a vlog style as well. And I mean, there is a reason for it. It's working, we're connecting with the booktuber that way. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I love making those videos as well. They challenge me so much and I love that. But there is something about the good old tag video, just as today, where you just sit down and you talk about books and you reflect on your reading experiences without having to show what you ate for breakfast or where you're going or something like that. Maybe that will come back someday. What is the best way to make friends on BookTube? And that's such a good question, because I haven't really made a BookTube friend just yet. It makes sense as well. I've been gone for a while, so, but obviously, just like if you would like to make friends, you know, in the real world, you need to reach out, you need to socialize, you need to sometimes make the first move as well. So comment, like make genuine comments to other booktubers, and maybe even like reach out, be direct. Do you want to hang out and read this book? Because you seem like an awesome person. I do have a few booktubers in mind that I just feel like whenever I watch their videos, I'm like, I would love to be friends with you. Remember that YouTube is a social platform. So there's a reason why. So if you want to make friends, leave thoughtful comments that you want to connect to. And it goes both ways. Whenever you guys comment on my videos, I feel so happy, and like, because it's quite precious. You've used your time to not only watch my videos, you've had thoughts about it and you want to share them with me as well, and I absolutely love that. And it means a lot more than you actually think. I remember every single one of you. You can even recognize a lot of you that used to comment intensely on every single video before my YouTube break, and now that I'm back, I recognize you guys. I recognize you, and it just makes me so warm and happy inside that you guys are taking time out and commenting on my videos. It goes both ways. I try and answer every single one of your comments as well, because it means the world to me. Absolutely. So thank you for doing that. What is a fun fact or hobby that people might not know that It's difficult to answer yourself, isn't it? I actually have a degree in creative musicianship from London, and I've got a degree in musicology from Lund University in Sweden as well. So I'm quite creative and quite nerdy when it comes to music. My main instrument is vocals, and I've actually been teaching vocals for years and years and years and years. I love it. We've got 2 pianos at home. We've got a guitar. I used to have a trombone, but I don't really know why I don't have that anymore. I didn't play it that much, but I did have it. And I write my own songs as well and stuff like that. So I feel like it's an obvious one if you know me personally. You guys might not really know. Is that a fun fact? I don't know. Tell me a fun fact about you or a hobby that you are enjoying. Leave that in the comments. That's a lot more interesting than me just singing, I feel like. And that's it for today's tag, guys. If you made it this far, drop a comment below of your favorite book in 2025 so that I can stalk your book taste. I would love to do that. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm really glad that you are here. The crazy hands are coming. That's how happy I am. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps more than you think. And with that said, stay messy, stay magical, and keep